Welcome, curious listeners, to another deep dive. I'm glad you're joining us today for an essential expedition into, well, practical English for everyday situations. Have you ever stood in line at the post office, maybe holding a package, and felt that little knot of anxiety, wondering if you'll understand everything, or perhaps you've tried to send, well, something valuable and weren't quite sure how to ensure its safety? Well, today we're tackling exactly that. Navigating the post office in English. It's really more than just, sending a letter. It's about understanding the specific language, the different services, and knowing what questions to ask to make sure your mail, big or small, gets exactly where it needs to go safely and efficiently.
That's exactly right. Yeah, think of the post office not just as a place to send mail, but maybe as a hub of specialized services. Every parcel, every letter, every document has a journey, right? And understanding the terminology, it just helps you choose the right path for your item. It's really about preventing those small misunderstandings, the ones that can lead to, well, big headaches.
Right, like a delayed package.
Exactly. Yeah. Or not getting the proof you need. So yeah, we're going to try and demystify the postal world a bit. We'll start with some common scenarios and then dig deep into the vocabulary that matters most.
Okay, sounds great. Let's jump right in then. To really hear some of this language in action, how about we start with a role play? You can be the expert postal clerk, and I'll be the customer. Imagine, listeners, that I'm trying to send a package to Toronto, Canada. Maybe it's a gift for a friend, so I want to make sure it gets there without a hitch.
Excellent idea. Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Whenever you are.
Okay. Good morning. I'd like to send this package to Toronto, Canada. What are my options for getting it there?
Good morning. Certainly. First things first, I'll need to weigh your package. That helps determine the base cost. Do you have a preference for how quickly it arrives? Or is economy shipping your main concern? We have a few different services. First Class Package International, Priority Mail International, and Priority Mail Express International. Each has different speeds, different price points.
Oh, right. Good question. It's not super urgent, but I'd like it to arrive within maybe a week or so, if that's possible. And I definitely want to be able to track it. So how much would the Priority Mail International option be? And does that include tracking?
Okay. For Toronto, with Priority Mail International, weighing what this does, let's see, your total comes to $35.25. And yes, absolutely, all our Priority Mail International services include pretty robust tracking, right from our office to its destination in Canada. The tracking number itself will be printed clearly on your receipt. Just make sure you keep that somewhere safe.
Perfect. Okay, that sounds like a great option then. Can I get a receipt for this, please? And, do I need to fill out any customs forms for Canada?
Of course, here is your receipt. And yes, good question. For any package going outside the country, a customs form is essential. Absolutely. It basically declares the contents and the value of your package for the customs officials over there. We can fill out the basic details here, but generally you'll need to accurately describe what's inside. So for example, gift. Use sweater and a book rather than just, miscellaneous items.
Yeah, okay.
That helps avoid delays. All right, thank you for choosing the post office today.
That was incredibly helpful. Now, listeners, you just heard some really crucial terms in action there. Let's really unpack these, starting with that core concept, postage. It's more than just a sticker, isn't it?
Absolutely. Postage isn't just a simple fee. It's the specific payment for the delivery service.
Yeah.
And it's either attached to or printed directly onto your mail piece. Think of it as its ticket for transport. Our sources define it very precisely. It's the value required to send an item through the postal system. This could be, a physical postage stamp you buy and stick on. Sure. Or for maybe larger organizations or businesses, it might be something called a permit imprint or a meter impression, basically prepaid postage printed right onto envelopes or labels.
Okay.
The key insight here, I think, is that postage costs vary a lot, actually, based on three main factors. The weight of your item, its dimensions, how big it is, and the type of service you choose.
Right, like how fast you need it there.
Exactly. Do you need it fast? Is it just a standard letter? All that affects the cost.
So understanding that postage isn't just one fixed price, but it's kind of a tiered system based on those factors that can really help you choose the right service. And maybe avoid overpaying or unexpected delays. And speaking of avoiding delays, the next term we heard, and one I always ask about, is tracking.
Indeed. Tracking is a special service. It provides electronic verification that your mail was delivered, or at least that a delivery attempt was made.
Why is that so crucial?
Well, beyond just knowing where is it, Tracking offers immense peace of mind, especially for valuable items. If your package seems to go missing or there's some kind of dispute, tracking is your digital breadcrumb trail.
Right.
It can be vital for insurance claims or maybe for proving to a customer that an item you sold them has actually been sent and delivered. You'll often see common tracking statuses like in transit, out for delivery, or delivered. If there's an issue, it might show delivery attempted or exception, which usually signals some kind of problem.
Okay.
And the tracking number, like we said in the role play, is almost always on your receipt.
Ah, the receipt. Yes, that little piece of paper we often just stuff in our wallet, but it's actually incredibly important.
You're spot on. A receipt is far more than just proof of payment, really.
Yeah.
It's a formal document. It provides evidence that your mail was presented to the Postal Service for mailing. For you, the customer, it's your official proof of sending. Simple as that. This is especially critical for what's sometimes called accountable mail.
Accountable mail.
Yeah, things that require a signature upon delivery, like legal documents, passports, maybe high-value electronics. If there's ever a dispute or a lost package or you need to make an insurance claim, your receipt with that tracking number is absolutely vital, right?
Definitely.
And for businesses, of course, receipts are crucial for things like tax purposes. So my advice, never, ever throw away that receipt until you know your item has safely reached its destination.
That is great advice. And in our role play, we also briefly mentioned a need for high security, which brings us to registered mail. This sounds like the Fort Knox of postal services. Who typically uses this and for what?
That's a great analogy. Registered mail is indeed the highest security service the post office offers. It really is. It's designed for items that are truly valuable or perhaps highly confidential. Our sources emphasize it provides maximum security by handling the mail piece in a separate, highly secure system, completely separate from all other mail.
Wow.
Think of it like a tightly controlled chain of custody. Every single person who handles the item signs for it. It creates a really detailed record of delivery. Lawyers often use it for legal documents, banks for financial instruments, or just individuals sending irreplaceable items like passports, rare collectibles, maybe very expensive jewelry. It's not just about proof of delivery like, say, certified mail. It's about safeguarding the contents every single step of the way.
All right, so just to clarify that then, registered mail is for high-value content security, while certified mail, which is another common term, people often confuse them. I think that's more about proof that you sent something and that it was received. Is that right?
Exactly. That's the crucial distinction. Certified mail provides proof of mailing and, most importantly, proof of delivery, usually with a signature from the recipient. It's often used for important notices, things like eviction notices, debt collection letters, maybe official communications, situations where you need a legal record that the document was sent and received. But the contents themselves aren't necessarily highly valuable or needing that extreme physical security.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't get the same special handling or that chain of custody like registered mail does.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, and one last common term that comes up a lot, especially with international mail, is the customs form. We mentioned it earlier. What's really crucial for listeners to remember about those?
The customs form.
Yeah, it's absolutely essential for any item leaving the country, period. It's basically a declaration. What's inside your package and what's its value. This is used by customs officials in the destination country. They use it to assess duties and taxes, if any apply, and also to ensure no prohibited items are entering their borders. The really crucial part for you, the sender, is to be accurate and specific.
Right, like you said in the role play, not just gifts.
Exactly. Simply writing gifts or merchandise might cause delays. You need to itemize, like 2 cotton t-shirts, 1 ceramic mug. Be specific. Also, overvaluing an item could lead to higher taxes for the recipient, which they won't appreciate. But undervaluing can lead to seizures or fines if they inspect it. So just being honest here saves a lot of potential headaches later on. That's incredibly helpful. Just knowing what those terms actually mean and why they matter makes such a difference when you're standing at that counter. Now, listeners, we've broken down the what and the why. Now for maybe the most important part, the how. Let's get you practicing these phrases out loud. Listen carefully, and then you'll have a moment to repeat. Don't be shy.
All right, here's the first one. Listen closely and repeat. I'd like to send this package to Canada. Okay, next up, to inquire about services. What are my options for sending this? Good. Now to ask about the cost. How much is the postage for that? All right, if you need to follow this journey, do you offer tracking for this package? And to make sure you have proof, can I get a receipt for this, please? And finally, when sending something important internationally, do I need to fill out a customs form?
Fantastic. Practice really does make perfect with these, doesn't it? You know, what are some other common questions a postal clerk might ask us, the customer, that listeners should maybe be prepared to answer?
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, beyond what we covered, clerks often ask things like, is there anything fragile or perishable in the package? That's a common one.
Right.
This helps them advise you on proper packaging, or maybe if a certain service isn't suitable. They might also ask, do you want to add insurance to this package? This is really crucial for valuable items, as standard postage often only covers a minimal amount, if anything.
Good point.
And for international mail, definitely expect, what is the declared value of the contents? This ties right back to that customs form, so have an honest estimate ready. Just preparing for these few extra questions can make the whole interaction much, much smoother.
Those are excellent points. Yeah, being ready for those follow-up questions can really speed things along and make it less stressful. And that brings us towards the end of our deep dive into navigating the post office in English. I honestly feel so much more prepared after our conversation.
Me too. And remember, listeners, the real key to mastering these phrases and just feeling confident is consistent practice. And really, don't be afraid to use them in real-world situations. The more you engage, the more natural they'll become. And the smoother your postal experiences will definitely be.
That's absolutely right. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive. And as you think about everything we've covered today, the postage, the tracking, the forms, maybe consider this. In a world that's so dominated by instant digital communication, right? Emails, texts. The humble act of sending a physical letter or a package, it still involves this vast, intricate network. It's human effort, complex logistics, surprising dedication, all working behind the scenes, often unseen, to connect us across huge distances. It's really more than just postage and tracking. Maybe it's a physical manifestation of human connection. One stamp, one package, one person at a time. Keep practicing your English, and we'll see you next time.